funny. What are you guys laughing at?
Just a funny thing that came on the Twitterverse or something.
Did I
Yeah,
say a
I love the
naughty
Twitter.
word before we joined? This is a clean
No.
family show.
It's a family show. Exactly. I love that. That was great.
We'll do
And
it
you know what?
live.
We'll do it live.
Anish was concerned that some of you were waiting, and
Listen,
you've
all
been
I
waiting a
want
long
to convey.
time for good Purdue football content, so you
All
can
I-
wait a few more minutes. You know what? The waiting makes it better, Anish.
Is
It's like a fine wine or a brown liquor.
Well, that wasn't
I
what I
know.
was
I
thinking.
accidentally poured myself a little too much.
Look at that. I was gonna have one, but I didn't know if I'd be drinking alone. I thought that might. Guess
When has
not.
that? When's that ever stopped you before?
It's a good point. It's a really
That's
good
just
point.
an ice cube, my friend.
Oh,
Yeah, that does not count.
That's okay.
Oh, there we go.
here you
There
go.
we go.
Here you go. This was a gift from my father-in-law for my birthday.
Nice.
Rowan's Creek. For those who have not had my fellow degenerates, Handle Jones.
Hello, fellow.
Hello,
degenerate.
my fellow degenerates.
Uh,
Oh man, is this on camera? No, it's not. Hold on. Let me make a little adjustment here. Hang on.
good job, Nathan.
What is group therapy is on? We don't need group therapy. This is a happy
Listen,
day.
therapy can be good, and you can have good therapy sessions.
Wow,
and bad
generous
therapy
pour at
sessions.
this bar.
This is Jay's bar. This place, man. You come into this bar, Anish knows.
I know.
knows
I accidentally poured myself too much, and now I waited
Now
for you
you
guys
have to
for
drink
so
it.
long.
You
and now
accidentally
it's just
poured
a
too much.
reasonable amount of
I don't
pour.
think there's any such thing.
No.
And you know it's special when Uncle Jay's drinking on a Sunday night. I made this point to Michael a couple of years ago on a
All right.
podcast.
All right.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. A couple of years ago, we did a pod, and I made a comment. Michael had a glass like to the brim, and I was like, "Man, that is a tall pour for a Sunday night." He's like, "What does Sunday night have to do with it?" I was like, "Well, don't we have to work tomorrow?" He's like, well,
Time is a construct, my friend.
Yes.
What would happen if you wanted one of these glasses and you were a person?
So-
let's say you wanted it for over winter break, over Christmas when you're
if you
seeing
look,
all
for
your.
those of you watching the stream, which I assume most of you are, 'cause- well, you do rip this and put this up on the feed, don't you?
Sure.
Did you do Fridays?
Yes,
Oh, look at you! You're so
I know.
good.
Working overtime.
If you want a Boiled Sports Rocks glass, that's a better focus. You can get them at boiledsports.com. Just go over to our store. Anish, I think it is linked as store, right?
Sure.
You'll find it. Come on. You've navigated websites for many
There are
many
like
years.
3 links on our website. It's not
Most
that
of them don't
complicated of a website.
I found apple juice in my refrigerator as well.
Well
Oh,
done.
good.
Good work.
Oh, good.
Deep colored apple juice.
It's like a
fermented.
cider. It's more of a cider. It's a
Good.
non-filtered.
Well, boys, cheers.
Cheers.
To all of you, to all of your handsome faces, and to everybody with us, to the Superweapon, to the Purdue Superweapon that just fires haphazardly on top 5 teams everywhere.
That link, the much more listened to podcast, the Shutdown Fullcast. What did they call it? The Purdue Weapon?
Yes, the
They
Purdue
said
Superweapon.
they said they have fired it twice recently.
Well, it's funny because the super weapon was Pitt. That was the
Yes.
original super weapon because Pitt just kept on beating like Clemson randomly.
Right.
And
Right.
I have like one of the few Pitt shirts that I have because for those of you who don't know me intimately, I work at Pitt. I got my doctorate at Pitt. My 2 degrees are from Pitt and Purdue, and now
We dropped that in there.
my
Boiler.
life. Actually, you know, I shortchanged
Here, how we
myself.
humble
I
brag
shortchanged
that?
myself 1 degree if we're being real.
Where I got my PhD. Where'd you guys get yours?
But my mortgage.
I got a
is
high
being
school
paid-
diploma.
My mortgage is being paid by Pitt right now. However, the 2 super weapons, the 2 chaos-causing engines in college football, just follow me around. I love it. It's amazing.
Nice.
I love that that's a reputation. And one thing I wanted to mention, and by the way, welcome to the Boiled Sports Handsome Hour. It's Jay, Nation Boiler Dad. Handle Jones says super duper weapon. That's very good. I wanted to bring up the Spoilermaker tag because we've been doing this long enough.
I hate it.
No. You don't
I
hate it as
love
much
it.
anymore.
I love
I
it.
know you don't
hate it.
because you said a week or 2 ago you're like, don't ruin my flow here, man. This is part of the bit. You used to say when we first knew each other watching Purdue, you hated it because you were like, look, Purdue always sucks. The Coletto years and all that crap. And you were like, being the Spoilermakers meant you suck all the time and maybe you beat somebody once in a while.
Yeah.
But I like it now because now teams are legitimately afraid of Purdue. There's or fan bases. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
Legitimately
It's
concerned.
no longer the you must be fired now loss. It's now the, oh my God, we're in the top 10.
It's
Purdue is
happening.
coming.
It's happening
oh,
again.
No. I
Crap.
love it. I love it. I love
Did
it
you guys
so much.
see our best friend Mel Tucker? Love
Of
you,
course.
Coach. Did you
He's
see?
a great
He's a
coach.
great guy.
Absolutely
Great
great
man,
coach.
handsome man. Did you see last week?
Never has smiled once.
No.
I don't
No.
think he has smiled.
Did you see him last week? His press conference when he listed every Purdue upset
Yep.
over a top-ranked team.
Yep.
His point was, we are
bleeding.
not overlooking them, and I don't think they did.
Did you hear what he said about it was the best week of practice they've had all week?
No,
Yes, and
I would
so
say, but I believe that.
I do.
I mean,
too.
I assume you mean all year and not the best week of practice all week.
No, because that doesn't make as much sense.
Okay. Well,
Thank
I mean,
you.
like, listen, I'm not double
That is a
checking
good
Mel
week.
Tucker. Listen,
practice.
shout out to Mel Tucker. We're not messing with him.
No,
No.
We are not.
no.
We're
but-
not
so
scared of him.
my whole point is he came into that game thinking they're ready, they're dialed in.
Yeah.
This wasn't
Yes.
a novel thing. This was two heavyweights going toe to toe, taking shots at each other. And what we said before the game was Purdue's best passing offense versus their worst passing defense, and then their best running
Mhm.
offense versus Purdue's worst running defense. What would happen? And that's the game, right?
So,
That's the game.
but what's interesting, and I want to call this out before I drink too much bourbon and forget. Here's a difference with when the Brohm Purdue engine is running the way it should, and this has not always been the case under Brohm. They go up 21
No.
they go listen, they go up 21-7, and you're thinking, wow, a 2-touchdown lead at halftime would be really nice. And of course, Purdue can't have nice things. So they give up a touchdown late in the first half. But you're like, you know what? You're leading the number 3 team at halftime by a touchdown. You can't really complain.
Right.
Then they immediately give up after a turnover. So Purdue comes out.
We
gets
have
the
a
ball in the
very
second half.
trusty guy, by the way.
Right.
Horvath.
Horvath fumbles it, turns it over. They run it in like it's nothing, right? So now they've scored 2 touchdowns, and Purdue's turned the ball over once. Very deflating sort of turn of events. And then from then on, it was like Purdue just didn't. No, that's enough. We're just gonna chisel away at you. Some touchdowns, 900 field goals.
3 straight 3-and-outs.
That's amazing. That defense, man.
It's so
That
good.
defense
How
this year.
strange is it that the defense isn't a fluke? That the defense is something that you can count on every
Yes.
single game, and it's so good because games like this are where it's best when the offense gives the defense time to recharge, so that by the end of the game that they're not good. J Money, to your point, the best play of the game, there were 2 best plays of the game. One, let's just shout it out right up top, Milton Wright. Like when he was tackled clearly 3 yards behind and behind the first down marker on 3rd down and fought for the first down
awesome.
that functionally clinched the game. I mean, it was amazing. After the first couple of weeks that Milton Wright had a season, I mean, he's turned in just
Become
about
reliable.
a month and a half of amazing play.
He
Absolutely.
looks like that 4-star receiver he was out of high school, right?
The second play is really a play call and execution from AOC and Brohm. 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Purdue has it on their own 1-yard line, which is where you end the lead. What was the lead? I think it was 37-21, or no, 34-21.
Yeah,
and
they're on like the 2-foot yard line, right?
2 foot, and so
Because of
most
that flag.
and so most coaches would just pound it into the line a couple times. Hopefully you break something, maybe a little play action, a little play, get a little daylight. Jeff Brohm leans entirely into what makes Purdue successful, which is what the Fullcast guys pointed out, leaned entirely into historically whenever Purdue has been great, and threw a back shoulder out of the shotgun, a back shoulder timing route fade to David Bell. Incredible.
Did you hear Bell's account of that? It was great.
No, I didn't see his post
Bell,
game.
Bell said they bring the play in, and he says, "Oh, sure, why not?"
Like,
I love it.
come on.
Just swashbuckling kind of team. They don't.
Right,
this
exactly.
is what we expected and wanted and loved about Brohm. That.
Yep,
Swagger.
it's been gone for 2 years.
But he's just
and
maybe
so
the person
beautiful though, lovely.
and
Lovely.
it's back now. I mean, like, and it's been there a couple weeks now, and hopefully he leans into it. He's got a quarterback now, I suppose, that he trusts. He obviously trusts AOC to make mistakes. And as much as we've been on AOC all year, I mean, this was the best game of his career.
Yeah,
I didn't watch his high school tape, so I don't know. But
can I do this right now? I want to
go on.
I know he's a big handsome hour listener.
Indeed, of course.
So I want to take time, Aiden, to apologize. And Jeff, I know you're a listener as well. I want to take time to apologize. And here's what I want to do. And I want us to be very specific. Listen, Aiden O'Connell has his downfalls in his game, but I dismissed or discounted something I shouldn't have. And that is, if you watched Aiden O'Connell's post-game comments, they're incredible. They're incredible. He could have just given an answer about football. He gave testimony about his faith. I thought it was incredible. And what it showed, doesn't matter what your faith is. What it showed is Aiden O'Connell has these intangibles that other guys want to be around. It's this guy. They said, I don't deserve this job that I have, but I've got this job. Do you think those guys want to block for him?
Exactly.
Do you think those guys want to catch for him? I mean, what an amazingly humble person. What an amazingly great leader. That is why he kept the job. And I'm not taking anything from Jack Plummer.
No.
I'm just giving this to AOC and say, I got it.
I mean, he earned it.
I finally got it.
I mean, like he earned it. He has earned also all of the, the frustrations, even during this game at some time.
Sure.
That being said, I mean,
he took a sack that was a 12-yard loss when he was rolling right
early in the game
too,
and I was like, oh no, is this going to be one of those games? And yet AOC, what is it? 526 yards, 536 yards, 54 passing, 40 for 54, 3 touchdowns.
I always wonder if your arm is sore like a pitcher after you throw the ball.
Reese said that one time versus Wisconsin when he passed like 70 times, he was sore.
83, I believe. But yes, okay. I mean, he threw for 70 plus against them, I think, more than once.
Right.
But
83, my God.
He had 83, I think, was the record. I think it was over 80, which is
it's a lot,
insane.
Yeah.
That's what happens when pass to set up the pass.
Well, here's the thing, though.
And the running game, they were good enough to it that Michigan State bit, which is really all Brohm wants.
But did Brohm continue to pass throughout the second half of that game? Did he call even the last quarter when you're like, bleed the clock, throw?
That last drive was the only one where I was like, hey, maybe
maybe hand it off a few times. But let me ask you guys a question. Was that Brohm changing from the super conservative fourth quarters and third quarters we've seen over the last couple of years? Or was that good coaching saying their weakness is pass defense, so let's just keep doing it?
I absolutely think it's that.
So if you watch, I went back, I've watched the second half.
You never watched the games
because
over.
I watched it live, I watched it again, and now I watch it in the 60-minute format on Big Ten Network. Michigan State blitzes every other play.
Well, they know they're going to throw the ball, so
up there.
Let's go at him. And they know O'Connell's –
and he used it completely against him.
They know he's susceptible to that, right?
Yeah,
they know he takes sacks. Yeah. So that's smart play. That's smart defense on their part because they know they can't beat him in the secondary. They know they can't stop the pass. Pass some more. Joe Tiller, Handel Jones puts the quote in.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, Purdue's success happened when Purdue was going to throw into submission. Just keep throwing it. Just keep, and you know why that's great? Because not everybody is going to do that. And so when you're a really good receiver, or even you're a niche receiver that has some speed, that maybe is not getting the top tier offers, all of a sudden you're coming to Purdue because you know that there's going to be some fun that's happening. You know that it's going to be aired out. You know that the goal when you come to Purdue is going to be just air it out and let's see what happens. And that's fun. That's why it's so hilarious to me when Iowa comes to town, because when Iowa is clicking, it's like 2.5 yards in a cloud of dust. And it's like, fine, go ahead and win 9 games with that. But it's like, that's not fun. The fun part about college football is what happens at Purdue, which is like the high variance. And all of a sudden you get Purdue beating, as an unranked team, 2 top 5 teams for the first time since 07, I think, is that anybody has beaten 2 top 5 teams.
Yep.
Or no, 13, I think is when it was. But like, that's awesome. That's really
great.
cool.
That's pretty great.
Last time Purdue has beaten 3 top 10 teams, in case you're wondering, is 1968.
Is there an opportunity to do that?
There is, in fact, an opportunity to do that.
Is that so?
Purdue is a 20-point road dog.
Now that's we talk about this every
Love
week.
it. I love it.
They're all over the
Drink it
place.
like this.
They were only like, what's going on here?
What's really it's the 7-point underdog to Nebraska is really just throwing everything off, because 3 to Michigan State is like, okay, I get it. Purdue's at home. Purdue has this history. The weaknesses line up with the strengths.
Yeah.
And if Michigan State's going to win, it's going to be a blowout. But if Purdue's going to win, that you're not going to worry about that 3 points.
Different kind of blowout.
And so, but really, it's the Nebraska line makes absolutely no sense now in retrospect. It's insane.
Purdue hasn't won a game. I'm thinking back now. When was the last time Purdue won sort of a cardiac finish? I guess, would you say Illinois?
Iowa game 3 years ago now, right?
That's what I'm saying. Right?
Illinois is the wrong kind of cardiac.
Right.
It's like,
you
died 4 times. Like,
when they beat a good team, that's the other thing. These last 3 top 3 wins, they've crushed them. Like, they're really, it's 2-score wins or more, or 4-score wins in the case of Ohio State.
Hey, can I revisit something, Manish? You started. I want to go back because you gave your 2 or 3 best plays, and you didn't mention maybe the best play in college football this season.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Found on Jeff Brohm was just like us, 3 a.m. on YouTube, just going through the YouTube recommendations and finding this reverse flea flicker into a screen.
The best thing about that, because I've watched this like 15 different ways.
Yeah, I got a thought on this.
There
play.
are 6.
Yeah,
6
that's someone made a point.
Front.
I don't think it was you. Someone made a point on Twitter that the amazing part is there was no one illegally downfield.
Right.
That many
they were just
blockers.
like chopping their feet, waiting. They were waiting for Anthrop to get close enough, and then they unleashed.
David Bell throwing blocks.
Man.
Throwing blocks.
The receivers
throws
throwing
3 blocks on the play.
And obviously Bell gets the thing because he was down. He was the one that he was David Bell. He appeared out of nowhere for that touchdown sealing one.
Wait a minute.
But Milton Wright was incredible on that play. That whole offensive line was great.
Do you think that was the first option? Was to Anthrop? I don't.
To Anthrop? Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think there was only one option on
you
that
want to
play
reverse flea flicker and then throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage?
That's the whole thing about that play. That's the deal. Yeah. Because if you look, there are 6 guys there. They are there as a fence.
That's still. I tweeted out a still image of Anthrop catching the ball and 6 people ready in front of him to block, and it's like this is beautiful.
The first contact is somebody comes up and tries to get below Greg Long, and Long gets so freaking low, like he is like his pad level is down like no joke, foot off the ground. The second contact is a triple team on one of Michigan State's linebackers. And then there's a cutback. Oh, it's wonderful.
And then it was mayhem because then you're like, uh-oh. That's like one of those returns where all of a sudden, whoa, there's nobody in the
Wow, there's nobody out there.
It was so good. Anthrop, listen, I love Anthrop, but that was a slow play.
And it took a while.
It took a little bit.
I think David Bell had to slow down to let him go by to block for him.
What was David Bell's line?
11 catches, 217 yards, 1 touchdown.
And those blocks for another touchdown. By the way, he had another touchdown that was taken off the board because apparently catching the ball, getting your foot down, going to the ground, and then dropping the ball, and kind of tossing it away.
And that's a problem. I had this discussion with the person to right of me, and I said, this is a problem with the rules, not a problem with the play. He did what he was supposed to do. The rule is so dumb the way a catch is defined now.
It's
Football
it's
is
the same.
ruined.
It's the same part of it that is the, you're reaching for the ball, and if it goes out of bounds a millimeter before the pylon, it's okay, and then it goes into the pylon, and it's good. There were 2 fingers here. There were 2 fingers. This is a millimeter.
I don't know what you're.
Check out Pinola Photography. That's Dave Weigel, I believe. Dave Bell just caught another touchdown while you gave out his line.
I mean,
David Bell is so dynamic, guys. And I know we've said this about Rondale Moore, and now we can say it about Bell, though. How special is it that you get to watch a guy that does what he does in so many different things? He completely pimp slaps a dude 15 yards at one play. He spin moves another 2 Michigan State players into each other where they flip over each other and explode. My gosh, the guy's special. And then after the game, he's like the most humble dude. How much do you love him?
Oh,
I mean, my gosh, what an amazing Boilermaker. That guy, he's a beast. He's so fun.
So he is number 6 currently on the receiving yards list. No, in the country right now for this season.
Yeah.
3 out of the 5 people that are in front of him have played one more game. So all I'm saying is that if Purdue has one more win, he is in the, or if Purdue were, let's say, an SEC team, or were one of the marquee Big Ten teams, he would be getting Heisman buzz.
There's no doubt.
I'm just like, it started off as a bit, and now I'm entirely in for it. Like, come on, at least invite him. Like, he is one of the most electric players. It's so strange because it's not like the jolt of electricity that'll kill you. It's just the jolt of electricity that'll make you like, what is happening? Because he's not fast. He's not strong. He's not big, but he runs perfect routes. He had that one drop, which it's so strange.
See how mad he was?
Oh my gosh, he was
it's
mad.
so.
And he talked about it in the post game. Mad.
It sticks in your mind because David Bell has the best hands out of all of the 2.
I don't remember any other drops.
What's his name? Garrett Wilson, is that the Ohio State guy, and Olave? There's another pair of them down south. All of them do not have as good of hands, as reliable of hands as David Bell. It's absolutely incredible. I could not speak enough.
So
about
AOCs, I'm going to tell you guys a little trick that I hope Ohio State's defensive coordinator isn't listening right now, because I know they're big hits on our guys too. But the is in the check down. It goes like this. AOC says, first option, it's Miller. Oh, he's not there. Where's Bell? And I'm just going to try to find him and wait for him just to show a little, and he's going to put it someplace, and he's going to go get it. It's an amazing. You said it, Anish, I think game 1 or 2. You said what David Bell is he's a security blanket. He's a
floor raiser.
Goodness gracious. Everything gets better with David Bell on the field.
I mean, Bell and Moore were 2 separate. Moore is a ceiling raiser, right? Like Rondale Moore can just blow the game up just in an instant. David Bell takes your offensive floor from here to like 4 levels up. He makes you just instantly better and more solid and just boring. Let's hope that he ends up in Arizona.
Oh my gosh. Well, and am I crazy, or was Michigan State continuing to just like single cover him the whole game?
I mean, that's why he threw the back shoulder, 4th quarter back shoulder fade on the 1-yard line was entirely because he was single covered. And
I don't get it.
I don't. I mean, like, I'm fine with it.
What the hell is it? Like, why would you not shade some help over there?
But not only is it single coverage, it'd be like single coverage freshman.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one play in the 4th quarter. He's on the right side, and he just does a little shake, dips to the left. Michigan State dude looks in. He's wide open. He must just terrify these guys because they're like, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't want him to do that because he made that other guy look stupid. So I better jump that. Oh, I don't want him to do that. And he's just like, he sees their tendency right away, right? That old game speed thing, he's got it all down. He knows exactly what that guy's going to do.
This was from this comment on here from Kevin Sprite. Cheers to a department that doesn't hide abuse. I just needed it was from very early tonight, and that was just something. Listen, I respect Mel Tucker. I don't want any disrespect for Mel Tucker to reach his ears. However, all of the disrespect to Michigan State entirely as an athletic
the athletic
department. Mel
department.
Tucker should leave and go to a respectable
He should go to
athletic
a good
department
place.
like
He can do
He's
better.
getting
LSU.
buzz
I don't know.
already. He's getting buzz already.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
he is.
If Florida were to relieve their head coach, I'm sure that he's going to be in that search as well.
Wow. Dylan has a point there. He lives in Ohio. He has his Purdue flag up front. His neighbor says, "You lunatics better not ruin it for us again." I got bad news. Here's the thing. They really ruined it for themselves, I think, a long time ago. I know
I love that
everybody
we're-
ignores
I
that
love that we're
Oregon loss, but they
insane.
did it themselves.
We are.
We're nuts.
Who cares? This game's not important to Ohio State. It's just Purdue coming in. No big deal.
No
They
big
got
deal.
him. They
Do you
got him.
guys think that? So somebody on Twitter said that Ohio State fans on like Reddit and all the reputable places are saying that their fans are legitimately concerned about this.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I guess it'd be crazy not to be, but and none of us are.
Nope.
We're not
I'm
real
serious. Please put George Karlaftis and David Bell in
Just
a padded box for
some
1 week. Just give them a
Some
week off.
obscure middle body injury that we're just going to take a precaution. We got to get
DNP middle.
do a DNP coach's decision. They're there, and you're just like
They're there. DNP rest. That's
Yeah.
They need if they're not like in sweatpants, but in suits,
yeah, exactly.
just to really make it fancy.
just standing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Purdue
If we
has
wanted
beat-
to, we would be out there.
Purdue has had Ohio State's number. However, every single time it's been in Ross-Ade. You know why? Because nobody comes into Ross-Ade.
Nobody.
Oh, it's so good. I need a Purdue flag, even though I have a little. You know what I have? We have a little. I live in Pittsburgh's got the kind of stereotypical very close houses next to each other, so it's a pretty densely packed street.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got just this tiny little, in the front landscape, this tiny little Purdue penguin. It's delightful.
You have a perfect house to put. Like in the front of mine, I have the angle thing. I think you have.
We could do
the.
We could do the flag. We could absolutely.
I've got
do
a
the
Purdue
flag.
on its own pole and my American flag, and I put up the Purdue flag after wins. Just that's the way I roll.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's like the
I've
big
had the
W.
Purdue flag up since Iowa game.
Yeah, because it's great. It's fun. What a time. It's just chaos. Absolute chaos. It's the best. It's the absolute best. Purdue is on pace. I mean, again, we're not counting the Northwestern game or the IU game before, but Purdue's now the highest likelihood is that they land on 8 wins. And now they're already at 6. One more, basically the bucket, and Purdue has got that season that all of us were dreaming about at the beginning, right? Like at the beginning.
I thought 5 was probably more likely than anything.
I thought 5 was in the pit of my stomach. I think both of us were on the same thing, and we didn't really want to say it out loud.
No.
Purdue was destined for 5 wins this year, and that's the worst place to be because you can't say one way, you can't say definitively the other, and they have blown that out of the water.
Purdue could easily be 7-2 or 8-1. They could be. I don't want to play that game too much, but the games they've lost, they just
Minnesota
played terribly.
game, like you said weeks ago. It's just
I don't think they come out with the hunger that they do, against Iowa and Michigan
That's why
State
I don't like to play that
close
game
loss.
because you don't
Exactly.
know the fallacy
And
of the predetermined outcome.
I think this game finally made up for that one that was lost, right? I think this was the game that was gravy, and that was the one that was lost, kind of, that was squandered away.
Right.
I think Iowa was always going to be there because
Michigan State was Michigan State this year.
Yeah.
Because somebody said this, didn't you pick Purdue to beat Michigan State? I said, I did, but we didn't know what Michigan State was. I thought Michigan State was going to be a little better version of what they were last year. Instead, it's a team full of mercenaries, right?
Yeah.
If you look at that lineup, it's incredible how many guys are not from Michigan State last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mel Tucker did something incredible. I think it's 30-something% of their roster is transfers. Okay. I want to give a game ball out, guys. I told Anish this already. I want to give a game ball. I've got a couple to give out, but I want to give one out right now. And it goes out to Michigan State linebacker Quavaris Crouch. And the reason I want to give it out to Quavaris Crouch is a complete dick bag. All right. Sorry, parents. That guy, number 6. So there were 2 guys that were number 6 on the field for Michigan State. Both were jerks, but Quavaris was an incredible jerk. Quavaris is the guy. Yeah, that's awesome. Quavaris is the guy that Garrett Miller kind of rolled the ball to and got the stupid. I mean, that flag is the dumbest flag, not for Miller, but for the ref to throw.
I think taunting should be mandatory. I think every time
took a
anything
that's like a little baby taunt. That's
and
like
Purdue took a penalty
patting someone on the
after
head.
a huge interception for running down the field excited. You can't be excited anymore.
I think it should be mandatory to crotch chop every time
Yes.
you have a gain
Yes.
of any yard.
What?
That's it. I think it should be mandatory.
But Quavaris Crouch was around the action all day. You'll also remember Quavaris Crouch from the play where David Bell was stretching to get a first. He was wrangled by 2 Michigan State Spartans, and Crouch came in head first and popped Bell in the ear hole. Bell rolled over on his back because he was feeling it. Okay.
Yep.
Quavaris Crouch also tried to turn Miller's ankle 2 or 3 times in the pile. Quavaris Crouch also stood over Miller in the second half and did like pointing at him over him, and the refs called nothing. So Quavaris Crouch gets credit because he pissed David Bell off and he pissed Garrett Miller off.
Hey, Garrett Miller with the catch.
Boy, did he have a coming out party, man.
What,
Garrett Miller
I didn't even on that replay. I didn't even think, how was it close?
Dude,
let alone
nobody
a
in the
real
stadium
catch.
thought it was a completion on our side. Nobody.
In the corner, you mean? The TV in the corner? Yeah.
That was nuts. And
when he threw it, I thought it was going out of bounds.
Yes.
It was 5 yards out of bounds.
He just reached out and pulled it back. And
how was he even close?
We haven't
let alone,
talked.
Oh, it was so good.
This just reminds me, speaking of dirty hits, we haven't. I'm pointing with.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gesturing with the bottle. We've reached the
bottle.
point of the night where you're gesturing with a
Speaking of
bottle of
food,
liquor.
We haven't talked about the head-to-head hit on Aiden O'Connell that not only was a blatant targeting helmet-to-helmet hit, but they bent him over. Talk to your point about guys grabbing. They went low on him also.
Didn't
bent
he
his leg
got
backwards in
tossed.
a way that I thought he's going to.
He got tossed.
He got
They
tossed.
called
No,
targeting stuff.
On the as the play happened, I actually thought it was a bad flag. Like I thought it was dumb. And then the replay, I was like, "Oh, we got a bad angle on the thing." Like,
did you
this
hear
is
O'Connell's comments about this play? This is the best. Did you hear him?
No.
Oh, this is awesome.
Do
So
tell.
O'Connell, he had 2 Michigan State guys down low. He gets hit in the face by that guy's helmet. So it looks like his knees get rolled back and he gets blasted, right?
Yes.
O'Connell said, it wasn't that bad. I know some of these things look that bad. That one didn't hurt at all.
Listen.
So,
Which is a giant
you
F
get
you.
your big defensive tackle to blast this dude in the face with the top of his helmet. Aiden O'Connell from Wheaton, a walk-on, is like, yeah, I didn't even feel it.
Greatest walk-on in recent Purdue history, correct?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the greatest walk-on. Is he the greatest walk-on in Purdue football history?
I don't know. I think that's something that we need to ask one of them old heads at
Patrick Beatty was mine before this.
Chris Reed. Shout out C. Reed.
Wait a minute, are we talking
Beatty
cross
played
sports?
football for a year
Yeah, I mean,
without a
Arguably.
Scully, I believe.
who?
Patrick Beatty.
Beatty
Kevin-
was technically on scholarship,
Kevin
correct?
Spry likes my bourbon cam. I don't know if you saw that comment, but he said he misses knuckle cam, but he liked bourbon cam.
Bourbon Cam's good.
Bourbon
Those
Cam
are
is better than Knuckle Cam.
I agree. There's fireworks or explosions going off here outside my house. My dog.
Yeah, because they're celebrating Purdue. That's
Right.
right.
That's what I'm saying. It is indeed Rowan's Creek.
Wow.
Yes, Martin. I do have outstanding taste in bourbon. That is a fact. I'm not humble about that.
No, he is. But his taste in beer is absolute balls. So I'm not.
I like what I like, and I don't apologize for it.
It's bizarre though. You drink great bourbon, not good bourbon, great, and then your beer. We shouldn't even talk about it because it's so sad.
It's
Listen,
not sad. I'm an American.
listen,
I am
I-
an American. I
I
heard you like
am
that.
an American.
I drink Miller High Life and Miller Light. Like I'm a true
it's
man.
the banquet. It's the banquet beer. That's what you
No,
have
it's
to
not the
say.
banquet beer, that's Coors.
brings
Oh,
up.
that is Coors.
High
You're
Life
right.
is
It's
the
not even the
champagne of
banquet beer.
beers.
The champagne of beers. That's
lady
right.
on the
True,
roof.
it's classy.
That is
It's classy.
correct. Yes, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
So there's good. Those are good walk-ons. Nick Hardwick, Thieneman, both good. But if you have
Hardwick.
AOC,
Hardwick is probably the answer.
they're both
there.
good. They're both good.
mm,
Now, Here, I want to ask you guys a question, and this seems completely improbable to even be thinking about it, but I think it's something you kind of have to start thinking about. The list of the best 6 single game performances in the history of the Big Ten, Aiden O'Connell earned one of those. Okay. There are 3 Purdue Boilermakers on that. Every person on that top 6 played at least a down in the NFL. Is there any chance
Yes.
AOC
There's a
gets
chance.
on an NFL roster?
Yes. If Curtis Painter's on a roster, was on a roster.
Curtis Painter had the build.
He had a big
though.
gun. He had a
I
big
mean,
gun.
like, and he had the arm. He was
David
he
Blau's
was
on a roster. Still.
6'5".
Right.
Blau had a
And
better
that's it,
arm.
right there. That to me,
Blau has a much better arm than AOC.
Much
I
better.
think they're similar. I think they're kind of similar.
But
I think
isn't Aiden bigger
Yes.
than Blau?
Yeah, but
Yes.
he's not quicker. He's not,
He's not
he's
stronger.
not
He's
faster.
not
He's not
quicker.
stronger. He's just not. No,
He has
I
that
don't think so.
mustache, though.
Listen, now we're getting onto the good stuff. These are real reasons why he's going to make a squad.
That's something.
The question was, does he have a chance? And I think a guy with that work ethic, a guy who's brought himself to where he has brought himself and is putting up 500 yards. How could you not look at a guy who throws for 500 yards in the Big Ten? This isn't like
I want him to do it again.
bullshit thing. What?
I want him to do it again versus IU.
Oh gosh, he might. Although
I just want the bucket.
I think Xander
want the
Horvath
bucket.
leads Purdue to a victory over IU.
Very Mike Allstott vibes. Number 40 just pounding the
Mike
rock.
Allstott vibes, and let's not forget IU. He was going to IU as a gray shirt.
Horvath or Allstott?
Horvath, South Bend, product of South Bend.
Yep, but he was going to walk on at IU as a linebacker, and Purdue said, you can play running back here, but we're still going to give you walk-on status. There's another walk-on who's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
my gosh.
Scholarship now, right?
He's scholarship now. He's awarded that.
Is AOC scholarship now?
He's got to be at this point.
Yeah,
right?
Like, 2 years ago, he was scholarship.
Yeah.
I thought they gave it to him and then he was back off of it.
No,
am I
he's
thinking
on.
of something?
He's on.
No, okay. What's that? Back away a little.
Look at that.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I love it. That's a framer, man.
Oh, that's a great one. It's a great one.
That's terrific.
Yeah, so
print that out and have him sign it the next time you're on the field.
Well, it's man, it was awesome to be on the field. I know you guys.
Well, your footage was great. That quick thing you did.
Thank you.
You captured you guys, then you captured those little cuts of everybody storming down on the field. Was a great capture.
Well, it's funny. I had a realization, and some of you guys in the margin here, and some of you watching live will agree with this. When you're young, you storm the field.
You don't take it in.
Storm the field.
Yes.
When you're old, you walk down the aisle, wait for the gate to open, and orderly
you don't want to
walk
hurt your
out
hip.
on
Yes. And say, woo.
And I literally listen, say to my son, hang on. Like, hold on to my shirt in case it gets really tight. Never did. We just kind of walked out, enjoyed the view. He laid on the motion P, held up number 1, took a picture of that. It was wonderful. Here he is, LBD. You want to say hi? This is a live cast.
Oh, look at him. Look at him. How many times are you've got to be bored of storming the field at Purdue games now, right?
I know. How many times have you been on the field?
I can tell you, I never ran on the field until I was at Purdue.
Well,
I've never been on the field.
The IU game a couple years ago. I think we went to the Iowa game the same year that we stormed at Ohio State.
Yep.
And this year, so that's 4.
Goodness gracious.
That's more than me. That's more than me. And you haven't even got to Purdue.
So is Jay muted or is that a problem on my end?
You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
There you go. Somebody's back. There's noise.
There we go.
You got me? You got me?
I got you.
Okay.
Anyway, so guys, Jay wants credit for his prediction of 3 out of the 4 wins. Right?
No,
Am I being fair?
I said they're going to win tomorrow. They're going to beat Northwestern, and they're going to.
It was like, I mean, you've made some pretty good predictions. That was like the softest one ever.
That was the least soft of all of mine.
I was okay.
Listen, I'm not taking sides in this one.
I said it 4 times during the show,
and then I watched it again, the show, and I was like, yeah, that was. I mean, the bold part was saying they're going to win 3 of 4. That's the bold part.
I mean, it's 4 of. It'll end up being 4 of 5.
I said
Right?
4 different times. I lean in a couple times. I go, they're going to win tomorrow. They're going to beat Michigan State.
You
And it's-
were the one out of the
good.
I was
none of us-
unequivocal.
though all of us were like, yeah, Michigan State's not that good.
Right.
Jay Money, you were the only one who said that Purdue was going to. You were
They're
the only
going
one
to
that put
win.
it down. You are correct. I want to put up this comment from Mark Goshorn that the Karlaftis is incredible. I don't care what the stat sheet says. I don't
Is he your
care.
MVP?
He is the best player on
He
this team,
tweeted
and
something.
David Bell legitimately should be a Heisman finalist. George Karlaftis's impact on this team and on the defense and just spurring the defense on, it is absolutely unbelievable. He is Purdue's best player. He impacts every single play. His snap count this last game was 65, I think. Unbelievable. Every single one Michigan State fields.
So, did you guys notice what Michigan State was doing?
Triple
So,
teaming
I had
and
this pointed
holding?
out
No,
from
I didn't.
another. My brother-in-law pointed this out. I didn't notice it in the stadium. Every time Michigan State would come in the line, because Purdue was moving Karlaftis around a lot. Okay. Every time Michigan State would come in the line, the two guys on the side where Karlaftis would raise their hand as to tell the
Please
quarterback,
help.
"Oh shit, he's coming from this side."
Here he is.
Here,
He's
Be
not
He
good.
is
forewarned.
He's still playing.
I'm the guy
he-
who's going to get beat.
He's incredible. Michigan has a really good pass rusher. Oregon has a really good pass rusher.
Yep.
Georgia, I'm pretty sure, has
Oh,
an actual
safe bet.
grizzly bear
Safe
on
bet.
defensive line. Like, I think that's the guy, Jordan Davis, that should actually win the Heisman.
Mhm.
But George Karlaftis is every bit as good as any pass rusher in the country. Unequivocal, full stop. It's not like, I'm sure that the difference with Bell is that there are wide receivers that produce like him, that have gifts that David Bell does not. They are taller, that are stronger, that are faster. I do not think there is another pass rusher in the country that you could say is without a doubt better than George Karlaftis. George's impact on every single play is unbelievable. It is the thing that makes that defense possible. Because if you notice, the linebacker blitzes are always behind George because George is getting doubled. It's incredible. I love it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Please. Thank you, Nathan Hartman.
Nathan.
Bob Diaco must be incredible in job interviews. Can we please? I would like to shout out the grift that Bob Diaco has pulled off on the last decade of college football, every single game possible, because how
So
he
many
gets the
monies
job.
from Purdue.
It's just incredible. It's
Incredible.
incredible also that he was fired and everybody, including Karlaftis, was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's
Can
fine.
you do me a favor, Anish? Can you bring up either Vortec 4253's most? Oh wait, the field, the
Sure,
version of
this
the
one.
field comment. Yeah, my first. Okay, so Vortec 4253 says my first field rush was Michigan 96. My last was IU 2000. Nice bookends. My first field rush was Michigan 96 as well.
Wasn't that the 9-6 game?
Yes, it was the one where they were
It was great.
4th, 5th in the nation.
Yeah.
And
Couldn't score a touchdown.
They kept running their line. They used their linemen out of the backfield to try to cram the ball down Purdue's throat.
Lloyd Carr,
They-
baby.
That's right, Lloyd. 2 L's, Lloyd Carr.
And then he probably went and beat Ohio State a couple weeks later because that's what he
Yeah,
did.
Amazing.
Nathan made
That
sure
one, they
that
they were successful. They ripped the goalpost down in 1996, which was really interesting. Jay, you probably on the field with me, right?
I don't think I was on the field. I remember
Really?
them doing that, and I remember the goalpost winding up in the Wabash.
That game, Jay, is the one.
That's right. That's
I shaved my head and put a Purdue P on it, and Tim and I
Yes.
both burnt.
Oh,
the P
yes.
into our heads.
Of course. That was that game?
Yes, that was that game.
I
That was
thought
that
that
game.
was an early season sunny game, and this was like a
No.
November crappy game.
No, there was nothing good before that game that season.
Mark
Nothing
Mark
good
and I
happened.
have the same one. It's the Superman
OSU
game,
bookends.
the OSU one, the OSU 09. I mean, like that's the one that I remember.
You guys
the
should come
Superman
next
game.
year when Purdue clinches part of the Big Ten West Championship.
Oh, sure.
There we go.
When does that happen? Do we know when that's happening?
I think it'll be relatively early. I think it'll be like early November.
This is the first time Purdue has clinched bowl eligibility
Yeah.
that wasn't the IU game since 07. It was
That was
wild.
bad. I mean, we talked about that 07. That was the
Okay.
last ring.
bet.
game.
Ooh,
Really
ooh,
weak.
ooh, ooh. That is a nightmare scenario. I wanted to share. I wanted to share with you guys.
I didn't want to get after you.
No, it's okay. You can go after that. But that nightmare scenario for me was Purdue having 5 wins heading into the bucket, and IU having 2 or 3 wins and saying, "Okay, this is our bowl. We're gonna knock them out of the bowl."
It's gonna be
because
the bowl
we know
anyway.
they wanted all of that. Now
Shut up,
that's what I'm
Dylan.
thinking.
Shut up, Dylan. I was born in '96. He says, "Eat it, Dylan."
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
that stuff.
You missed out, buddy.
Yeah,
missed a
it
good
was
time.
pretty awesome. before
They're
we-
just grumpy because their knees are aching and their backs are sore.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Hey, look! Don't act like you're not closer to that than you are to Dylan. You jerk. They did cement him in better after that. Somebody Vortex says they took him. There's truth to that. I remember that being a topic that when the Boilermakers would strike, they ripped down the goalpost, and then it'd be like, crap, we got to get these things back up by next weekend.
Well,
And
Purdue
they started
re-engineered
greasing them
the
in.
whole system. It was awesome.
Yeah.
They changed it so you could have like 100 people hanging on them, and
Yep,
they wouldn't.
and they
come
don't.
down.
They don't do
They
it.
should
And
just make
I
them-
was on the field again for Michigan, IU, Ohio State
In 2000,
before the Rose Bowl, and
Yeah.
people were trying. I was there, like
they were up
trying
on
to
it,
go.
rocking it, and it wouldn't do anything.
It would
I
not. move.
remember.
It was awesome.
They should just make them like quick release. You just click a little button and it pops open, and you can have your fun. And
Well, a
then it
lot of
pops
places
back
now
in.
they drop them as soon as the game's
They just-
over,
Right.
but not,
onto the people on the field.
Exactly.
slowly. Anish.
This
Come on.
is Mark Garrity's comment that 07, the references to 07 make me feel old. Yes, because that was
How
a
about-
long time ago. And that was my freshman year.
How about 1996? How does that make you guys feel? Because we weren't freshmen.
So Stratton was involved in the field rush for Wisconsin, and he left his helmet during the field rush. He was enjoying the party atmosphere, and his helmet disappeared. And Tiller said, "I'm not playing you unless you find your helmet." This is a true story. And then somebody called Tim Stratton. This is like Stratton tells the story. Somebody called Tim Stratton and said, "Your helmet is sitting by the goalpost in Rothschild Stadium 3 days later."
They went and put it there.
Appeared. Yep. And he had to go get it in the stadium. His helmet came back.
What a
I
story.
love that story.
What a story.
By the way, let me just
Great.
share Ultimate Boiler on Twitter. This is great. He says, not a question, just a comment. The family sitting in front of me, it was their first Purdue game ever. Just
This is-
moved to town. Little
This is
boy
awesome.
couldn't have been more than 8. Kept saying, "This is awesome, Dad." Now that kid, that poor kid.
This child, this
He's
child, this
in-
is like the
he's
same
in
thing
for life.
when you tell me, whenever you tell me the story of how Purdue clinching the Elite Eight or whatever when you were on
Yes.
camp, was that your tour? When you were
My-
touring campus, Purdue
I was
clinched
on
the Elite
campus
Eight?
the night they went to the Elite Eight with the big
It
dogs.
was like, this is how it is all
And
the
then,
time.
right, no, this is how it is all the time, was my first couple of football games. I come in 94 as a freshman, and they beat the snot out of like Ball State and Toledo. That's how it was, right? You'd play 2 MAC teams and whatever.
Right.
And it was all stot, and they were winning at like 50-14 kind of wins, right? They did the
Mhm.
first 2, and one was a night game. It was one of the
Yeah.
6
it was
games
my
under
wife's
the
first game
lights.
on campus. It was
It
Ohio.
was one of the
It was Ohio.
it was, and I was like, this is night
It was
games,
awesome. It was electric.
bludgeoning teams.
It was like 150 degrees and humid. It was
This
awesome.
is great.
It was
And
great.
I never got better. than
Glenn
that until-
Robinson's right
Here, I
over
wanna show you
there
guys
on the other
something. I want
sports.
to show you
It's
guys
great.
something here. Let's see.
This
See
is
if I
high
can get this
tech.
thing to work.
This is high tech. What we're doing here. I saw
Okay.
the picture on your little.
No,
post.
this is a little different. Okay. Right there in the center, you've got my nephew and my son. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I don't know. I just got dark. Okay. But the whole point of it, my nephew's 11. Okay.
Yes.
So my brother had this observation of mercy. Wow.
Wipe
You
your
The
look-
whole, the whole thing is that these nights, I don't want to say
Warm.
they're magic, but they are incredible.
Yeah.
My brother said it's an amazing thing. If you're a person of faith, he said this is like a foretaste of what heaven might be. Everybody's there celebrating something amazing. You're with all these people you care about, and
How
you're
about-
all there for the same cause.
Yes. How about the feeling we almost
It's
had in
incredible.
Louisville?
Oh,
Remember how we were overwhelmed with the fact that
that's my boy.
when we walked
Right up here.
around,
This is my
everybody associated with Purdue was there. Everyone we knew.
We
so
were
many
in-
people.
It was a dream.
2-5 was
section-
there.
The
Morgan Burke
section
was
we
behind
were
us.
in,
Like
wild.
Ray Davis was there. Every
I
Campbell
was
was
up
there.
like 70 rows.
Brohm was there.
Yeah.
Brohm was there. Everyone was there.
Yeah.
That was the night. And it would have had, my point is, the feeling you just described was what I was thinking that night was about to feel like. But
Yeah.
let's not bring this talk down.
No.
The recruits on Twitter, Chris Beeler says the recruits on Twitter were all talking about how awesome the atmosphere was the game. Yeah, there were one or two guys who was like their official visit or first visit.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Could not be
I
better.
want to
Because
hear a
that's the-
story. I want to hear a story in 4 or 5 years about Purdue's next great whatever, okay, who that night cemented him coming to Purdue because it was just such an amazing night. And I can tell you the cool thing. So Branson Dean was running around. This is awesome. In that picture, if you look, I'm pointing off at nothing. And I was pointing off at Branson Dean. I saw him go off the field and come back like 3 times. You know why? He just wanted to be around people. He was like enjoying the whole thing. It was so cool. And so like that night of being around people, it wasn't like rush on the field, I might die here. It was rush on the field, hug anybody. Like that was the coolest thing.
And everybody, it's one of those things. Oh man, because I've been in crowds of like 80,000 watching a concert, right? And you have these and it's not like, I mean, like it's like Metallica, Pearl Jam. Like I've been in 80,000 person crowds really rocking to it. And it was this story about like the Travis Scott concert where people got trampled.
Happened that
And
night.
it's the difference between when a crowd is around you, and I've been thinking about this a lot, where everybody is concerned, like not concerned, but everybody knows we're all here, like to be with each other to enjoy this thing, versus when things get out of control. Right. And so when it's at Purdue and when you're storming the field like that, and it's all like that, when you're having a really good time, when all of these recruits are there on their first night, everybody is there knowing that Purdue is the chaos agent, but we're all here enjoying it because it's Ross-Ade. And this is about as friendly of a field rush as you could possibly, get. There were a couple recruits that are on the team right now that reference the Ohio State upset being the reason that they're here. I'm pretty sure Corey Trice is one of them. Corey Trice was the infamous picture of, during the Louisville thing. Like he was the picture that was tweeted out like in the midst of Louisville recruiting Brohm. Like there were the things that Brohm had already accepted the story, and Brohm had already accepted the job posting, and listen.
Are you distracted?
No, not at all. It's not my favorite thing when comments get me laughing. It's the best. Enjoy it. I enjoy all of you who are joining us. I'll just put this part of Vortex comment up there.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're
It
gonna
was
not
very
put
good.
the other one up. It's a little. It's a family
But
program.
it's like these are the kind of things where it's like this is what's fun about being a college football fan.
There you go. You're back on track.
Yeah, this is the fun part about being a college football fan.
College
Is that
football.
God
bless college football.
Here's the thing.
Sports are great, is what you mean.
Here's the thing.
Football though is.
I love
Oh, it's so
being.
much. I mean, I love basketball, but gosh.
But here's the thing. In
Oh,
basketball, I expect in my lifetime at some point Purdue to make a Final Four and to win a national championship.
Whoa.
That is my expectation.
Whoa!
Because
Wow,
it's
you're drinking hard stuff tonight, huh?
not really, because it's built for
huffing as you
you
drink?
you can absolutely
Purdue
build.
can be there. Purdue can be there.
It is impossible for Purdue to win a national championship in football. It is the way
I think it's
that college
impossible for
football.
Purdue to win a national basketball championship.
No, I don't think it's.
No,
impossible.
I don't think so at all.
It's much more possible.
It
for
is
basketball, to Anisha's
absolutely
point.
possible.
You can
Prove
put
me
together.
wrong, Purdue.
No. But what I'm
No
but
way.
I'm not saying it can
Final
be done.
Four,
La
sure.
la. No,
National
I'm not saying
championship.
it can be done. La la la. No, I am saying it is impossible the way college football is structured for Purdue to win a national championship, which makes nights like this the reason that all of us are Purdue fans. Why I love rooting for Purdue is that when Purdue is good, they are throwing the ball 55 times a night. They have players like George Karlaftis and David
fun.
Bell. It is fun. We are upsetting these giants of college football. We, Purdue becomes the fun story. We do a thing like on the 1 yard line, throw a back shoulder fade. We have a nightmare presence on the defensive line that is destroying Iowa and Michigan State, really legitimately great offensive lines. He's destroying them every time. Purdue's not going to win a national title in football, but these are the reasons. These are the nights why people show up. And these are the nights where Ross-Ade is full all of these times. People know that this is where you have a great time. This is the best version of that Boilermakers thing, right? Not Purdue is the reason why you lose why you lose your job. This is, oh no, we have to go play Purdue. And Purdue is not going to win the national title or a perennial Big Ten, champion. But Purdue is could beat anybody on any given night. And that's awesome.
Put up Hassan and Salamon's comment. He says, I don't think that's true. If Cincinnati of all teams has a chance to win the national championship, why not Purdue? Well, let me explain something. Cincinnati does not have a chance to win the national championship. They are deserved of consideration, and they are not even close to the top 4. And they're 6? They're not going to get there. They beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame.
What it's so wild. If you look at Notre Dame's schedule, they have played one good team and they've lost to them. Right. And they're going to play Virginia. Who else are they going to play? They're going to play 3
Purdue,
really bad unranked
really
teams.
Good team.
Purdue is really good.
Really solid ball.
Hey,
team.
If you look, it's hilarious because
like on the edge, they're like really solid bowl team. So
if you look at just the head to head of one ranked team and one unranked team, Penn State and Purdue's wins, it's ridiculous that Purdue is way better. Now, that being said, please, I'm glad that Purdue is not ranked. Do not rank us, you cowards.
Can you bring 2 comments up? Cowards, don't rank us. Bring up Kevin Spry's comment down. I think it's a good. I think what he feels is this is a magical night on a Handsome Hour.
He asked.
How does one rush the field of a Handsome Hour? Because this is a good one. That feels like this is one you might be feeling that energy to get here.
Yeah, pictures together, hugs. I think the answer is Anish posts the link to actually join as a participant. That's how you rush the field. All the windows open up.
It's just never hear anybody. Yeah.
I on the last one on Friday, I absolutely apologize. I sent the wrong YouTube link. So there were many people that were going to a separate YouTube link. I got the right one this time.
Can you bring up one more for me? Can you bring up Vortec 4253's second down, the OSU?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. OSU can never have a huge upset. Think about that for a second, though. It's pretty true.
Yeah.
The worst Ohio State team in my life was Earl Bruce was coach, and I think they won 7 or 8 games.
But this is so on the full cast. I posted the clip of them in the latest one. Ryan Nanny, Florida fan.
Yeah,
college football royalty is it is absolutely no fun rooting for one of these blue bloods, because once you get to 8 wins, 7 or 8 wins, it's like the roof is on fire.
Right.
You should be a Purdue fan, he says. Don't be good, be Purdue, because that's when you can actually have fun being a college football fan. And that's the point, is that when things are going right. See, it's like the difference. It's why the Hazel era felt so bad, is because he didn't quite understand. And Purdue, Morgan Burke hired and completely built the program, not remembering why and when Purdue was good. And what drives good Purdue football? You guys were saying this, I remember before I even joined the site, is that you have to just lean into this high passing, high octane, aggressive defense chaos. ball, because that's when Purdue is good.
Yep.
And the way that that's why I really do think if Hazel was hired in, let's say Iowa or Wisconsin or one of these things where you can actually recruit these big hoss offensive linemen and run the way Hazel wanted to, I bet he would be a perfectly fine head coach. I bet he would be as good as Doofus up in Michigan,
Illinois.
Wisconsin right now.
Oh yeah, Chris. Yeah.
I bet he'd be as good as Christ right now. All you got to do is get these horses and line up these great running backs behind these horses. I mean,
By the way, I was just trying to go through my list of doofuses. Like
Chris?
Bert?
Oh, you mean
Chris? Yeah, that
Iowa, Illinois,
right, exactly.
the entire Big Ten West.
You say
Brady
that,
Hope is still coaching. He's a pretty big doofus.
But that's the thing. Danny Hope embraced chaos. It's like he didn't quite get the offensive part of this, but
I don't know if he embraced it so much as he just contributed to it.
He's one of the chaos.
He was chaos.
He was riding it.
Yeah. He wasn't like I'm going to control the chaos. He was like, wee, let's just have some fun. He loved being a coach. Well, that's the one thing we always said about him. Man, that guy loved being a Purdue's coach. He couldn't believe every day his luck that the reporters wanted to talk to him.
It's kind of a sad thing now. Like he's pretty, he's.
I would hang out with him every day of the week.
Right absolutely.
Now, yeah.
With the long hair.
He's completely detached, disassociated with Purdue. He's just a Western Kentucky coach. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
Oh yeah.
It kind of sucks because he was fun.
I would love to have him back. He was wild. I'd love to party with him. Let's go to Harry's, Danny Hope.
You bringing up that I hadn't looked at Ohio State's record over the years. They had that 1 year after Tressel got fired where Fickle went 6-7. Okay.
But they went to bowl that year.
Yeah. They went to the Gator Bowl at 6-6 and lost. But other than that, they had a 500 year in 1999 under Cooper.
How about like 86?
They had 4 years consecutively before that with double-digit wins. And then 88, you're very close. 88, they went 4-6-1 Cooper's first year. Earl Bruce's final year, they were 6-4-1. But Earl Bruce never won fewer than 9 games before
1988, that. So 1988 additional factoid is the last time Purdue won in Columbus.
Great point. Great.
I was going to say,
good segue, Jay.
That's why just let Bell and Karlaftis, they've earned it. The last month of play, they've earned the rest.
We're an hour in. I got to ask this question. What happens? What level of insanity are Purdue fans in if Purdue were to win next
We have to go live that night.
We got to go live.
We'll go live that night. Usually our lives are entirely, random. We wanted to, but we could not go live that night.
Have my commitment that if Purdue were to win next Saturday, there'll be a live cast with much bourbon flowing.
Oh my gosh, we'll already be there's a really good chance that J Money and I will just be outside smoking cigars and drinking bourbon.
So let me confess something. I have thus far toyed with the idea of J Money Jr. and I getting in the car and driving to Columbus. I have toyed.
If you do that and you don't pick me up on the way, I swear to God, if you don't pick me up on the way.
I don't think it's a good idea on a lot of levels.
No, it's a terrible idea.
I don't have a great memory, Jay, but I do have a memory of you taking a road trip this year and not ending great.
I had one that did end well, though.
One ended great. One was really, really
and we had an entire section of a baseball stadium to ourselves on the other one.
What baseball? What?
The PNC. Listen, don't worry about the Notre Dame.
It wasn't football.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
The whole trip was a magical.
It was great.
It was wonderful. Yes, that UConn game was when Anish and I looked over and saw AOC not talking to any of the quarterbacks or coaches and wearing a yellow jersey that maybe suggested you're not really part of the team.
Wow.
It was wild. It was so wild.
It was so weird. And then he came out in the second half and played and kind of hasn't looked back. Melissa Hunt, we always welcome female listeners because there are about 1 for every 2,000.
That's not true. Listeners. It's just the commenters, really. It's just
they're the silent majority. I think it's actually more women that
probably true. Yeah. Probably true. Mom, thanks for watching. Yep. There's a guy 3 years ahead of me, Melissa says, who looks dead up like Danny Hope, and I get confused every game when he walks in our section. Now, Melissa, there is a non-zero chance that is Danny Hope. There's a chance.
No. It could be. It could be my dad. People have said it over and over.
Melissa, we need to know what section we're talking about here. Go ahead and jump that into the comments. because
Yeah, please let us know. Seriously,
if it's your section, I'm going to pour a full glass. That'll be amazing.
You've heard that though. So I'll post something. I'll post something. Yeah.
Don't encourage him, Mark. Mark
Yeah,
Goshorn says
Mark,
we're all
that
here
doesn't
for the
have
niche
anything.
monologues
That doesn't-
tonight.
that
This is
doesn't
what
get to
happens.
anything.
Anish monologues and he gets going and he gets some bourbon in him. He's
That's
in a good
right.
mood.
We're not going to get all those. See, like if it's just a niche monologues, we don't get our straight hair or long hair, Danny Hope. That's a good question.
I
very
do
good
not want. I am a little scared of short hair Danny Hope. I
This is
would
like a
love
cooking show
nothing.
on
I
Jay's
would love
channel.
nothing more than a weekend getaway at a cabin with long haired Danny
Hello.
Hope with a glass of Rowan's
Whoa.
Creek.
Whoa.
It's great.
What would you be wearing, Anish?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let me and Danny vibe. Let me and Danny vibe on
Let it
our own.
happen. So
You-
what? There's gonna
all
be some.
mind your own
There'll
I
be
business.
some
have
Boys
told
to
you-
Men on the CD player.
Yeah.
I have told you guys the story about him showing up at the
What
Breeze
is
Golf
going
event.
on?
The Breeze Golf event that we were participating in. He made his way around to talk to the golfers, and he was on a golf cart going around talking to people, glad handing, and he pulls up and he's waiting patiently because I have a chip shot, and I'm like, Danny Hope's going to stand behind me and watch me chip. This is very, it's very unnerving, and I put it on the green, and he was like, "That's a really good shot," and I was like, "Wow, thanks."
Danny
story's
Hope
so
giving you
ridiculous.
confidence.
Yes,
And I know it's true, but it's so ridiculous. He's complimenting your chip shot.
Yes, it's ridiculous. That's the Boiled Sports. See, Boiled Sports history is full of non-event, non-story, but fun little anecdotes like that. None of it means anything.
I
No.
think the best that was the best summary of Danny Hope was that every day he woke up and couldn't believe that he was producing
Yes.
a football coach, which is awesome. That's
Living
so
the
cool.
dream.
Well, you know what's funny is I remember saying to him, because he had waited for me to chip, and then he came over and chatted with all of us, and I said, "Thanks for being patient with us," and he goes, "Thanks for being patient with us," about the team. And I was like, I like
That's a
this
good
guy.
line. He's a charmer.
I
Oh,
like
I got a
this
good
guy.
line. I spoke to Xander Horvath after the game. He's taking a picture with my son and my nephew. He said, "How you feeling? How's the ankle?" He said, "Pretty good right now."
That's it. That's it. The adrenaline.
Right now,
Feeling good.
feels great. By the way, Melissa
Exactly.
says it's section 119.
Yeah, I know. That's the other side of the stadium. It's mine. It's not my dad.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
He could just be wandering. You never know.
You never
Your
know.
voice
That's
travels
literally
also.
so. We used to sit in 119. That's over in the corner.
I thought that
That's a
sounded
great.
familiar.
That's a good seat. We're in 104 now. So
Well, you were in the the corner that was kind of opposite the student section, right? That's where I sat with you before.
yeah. We've been two places. The blocks have been 119 and 104. So yeah.
104 is on the other side of the student section, kind of sideline. So I don't know, man. Hey, yeah, Dowd is gone. He's done with this.
He just walks away.
It's gone. It's done. I would very much like if Purdue just took this game as a bye week. If we had it in the Ohio State game, if we had it at Purdue in Ross-Ade where nobody comes,
No, it comes in.
I'd feel better. But it's like no horseshoe.
No.
Thank you. No, thank you.
No, I don't feel great about it, but I mean, I do believe they're going to show up as they have
Sure.
every week. I just think winning there, and I think we've talked about this on our show before. Ryan Day is not going to let them forget what happened the last time
No.
they played.
I
He's too good
don't
of a
think
coach.
we will. I don't think we will ever see Purdue beat. I think all of us will die, and Purdue will not beat Ohio State again because that Rondale Moore beating was so bad. The Tyler Trent night was so deep for them.
I think we're gonna see them beat Ohio State multiple times in our lives.
I hope so.
It's so
I hope
weird.
so.
Like some
have.
programs, it's like no big whoop. Like what the hell with Wisconsin, right? But with Ohio State, for some reason, the last time Purdue went to Columbus, I think they lost by a score. It was like 29-22.
So I think
that one? That wasn't the last time. That was the
the
Hope
line
game
on
in
it-
Macon.
Because the time, so the game after that, Ohio State beat Purdue like 59-0 at
Yes.
Ross-Ade.
Yes, that was a Hazel year though.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right. Maybe they played them.
Yeah. It's been a while since they went to Columbus.
So that was the game that they had the win, to the point where I had Ohio State bloggers messaging me saying, I don't know how you guys do it, but you got us again. And then, who was the backup who wound up? Dwayne Haskins? No, that's too recent. Frick! It was the backup quarterback came in and won the game for them.
I think it was Haskins. I
think it's too long ago to be Haskins. I really do.
He went on
Kevin
to play
Spry
in the
says
NFL.
2012 they were up by 8 with 4 minutes left. That's correct.
Yeah.
They gave up a touchdown, gave a 2-point conversion, and then lost in overtime.
Yeah, that was 9 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's B-Dad's point is they've only gone there like once. I don't even know if
that's
maybe
true,
once
because they go.
That was in the Go-Go Leaders and Legends days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever the
Because
heck.
they only go there every 3-4 years now.
No. You only
Cross
play them once
conference.
every 3 or 4 years. You only go there
Now
every 8 years.
No, because no. You only go there now, so it's like 3
You don't
now.
play the
I know
other
because
divisions.
I'm on the Penn State schedule. Penn State is quite close, and I got the homies at Penn State, so it's usually every 3 years. Like we go either way. So now it's 6, I think.
Okay, it's a
so it
long
went from
time.
4 to 6. It is a long time, yeah. So it's Braxton Miller. It could be Braxton
that not Miller. It? That might be it.
Nope.
No,
it's
it
a
was
bigger guy. It's a bigger guy. Miller,
DJ,
it's not Miller.
DJ.
Initials, some kind of initials for the first name. No, I don't think. I don't think the Ohio State. I don't.
Kenny
so
Guyton. Kenny Guyton.
Kenny Guyton. Good Lord.
Kenny Guyton came off the bench and beat Purdue in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Well, that's
Purdue's
upsetting.
only
It wasn't even any of the good ones.
Purdue's only points of the fourth quarter were a 2-point conversion. I'm sorry. Not a 2-point conversion.
You know what?
I'm looking at the thing right now. Shut up.
Hey, Cardale Jones. Cardale Jones.
Cardale Jones is the other one I was
thinking. Kenny Guyton. Cardale Jones was the starter.
Really?
No, Braxton Miller was the starter. I'm looking at it right now. Kenny Guyton came in because Braxton Miller got hurt. Don't you guys question me.
Here's the thing that's amazing. There was one year Ohio State they moved Miller over to wide receiver.
Yes, I remember
after he'd started like 2 or 3 seasons. And Miller was awesome. Like the first game of the year, he had like a couple tiptoe catches in the corner of the end zone. I was like, how is their quarterback better than all of our receivers at catching the ball?
They could mix up their athletes all those years into any position and beat Purdue.
They were so good. AJ Moye.
Yeah, you guys are no help. I figured it out. No thanks to any of you jerks.
So Ohio State's 10-point favorites.
Shut up.
Arch Slicer.
Ohio State's 10-point favorites.
He's in the big house.
Ohio State's like 20-point favorites, bro.
20.
20.
That's
ridiculous.
I love it.
I'll take the points there.
Yeah, I'll take the points just because that's a lot of points.
I think that's it. I think it was Lawrence Vanderberg.
Oh, I hate you all. As much as I love you all.
Kevin Spry's bringing the thunder today in the comments.
Oh
mercy.
Do we want
to have any questions on Twitter?
Everyone's just drunk and happy.
Good.
Nathan Hartman says, I'm wondering if anyone else feels strangely emotionally secure this coming week. We could lose by 30 and I'll be like, okie dokie, let's go beat Northwestern and IU with a big stupid smile on my face. I feel emotionally invincible and it's a very weird feeling. And he says, I want to talk about my feelings.
He's
the
right.
Handsome Hour is group therapy first, sports talk second.
That's because we are in the best spot that college football fans can possibly be, which is that you're not looking for a national title contender, but also you have a dangerous team that has already beaten really good
What's that position,
teams.
Anish? You're expecting 5 wins and you've got 3 games to go with 6 wins?
Wild.
Yes, that's
wild.
fine.
Was it Steve Bellisari?
Shut up, idiots. Steve Bellisari ripped Purdue's ass.
I know. And he sucked. He was so bad at football.
Lawrence Vanderberg still makes me laugh.
Pass. Steve Bellisari is like their Rob Henry.
Who was the guy? Who was the Krenzel? There's another
he couldn't
ass
throw
quarterback
the ball either.
Beat the piss out of him.
I don't know any of
title,
these.
for God's sake.
I don't know any of these players.
You do too.
I don't know. I don't know who Rex
Craig Krenzel?
I don't know Rex
2002 national title team that beat Purdue in the gold, the gold with white numbers that you couldn't read jerseys, 10-6 at Ross-Ade on a touchdown and 4th down. No, I don't need therapy.
That's their Holy Buckeye game.
Yes.
The same
Why do I
call
remember these
a
things from
year
20
later.
I
years
know
ago?
why are these stupid memories
Taking up
embedded?
shelf space in my brain.
I know.
It's a limited size store too. I don't
Exactly.
know. I don't need to waste all this space.
It's held by stupid, bad Purdue memories.
It's all that's in there. That's all that's in there.
J Money,
Yeah.
if I see a single snap of your IG of you in Columbus and you haven't picked me up, I swear.
Oh,
I swear I'm
obviously I
breaking
will
your
swing
knees.
through Pittsburgh.
If
Obviously.
you guys
So-
both go to Columbus, you got to call me. I'll at least meet you outside the stadium. I'm not paying a nickel for that ticket. I can tell you that much.
I'm not paying a nickel for
That's
that
a
ticket.
horrible place. I've been to a game there and I did not enjoy it.
I didn't.
not.
I've
well,
been to,
shocker.
I've been to the Shot
Really
Center,
bad.
and I have also not enjoyed that
Yes.
place. It's not a very good arena.
I don't know if our emotions can take the fact that this football season is going to bleed right into this basketball season. I don't know.
I got
man.
Mr. Contact.
Mr. Cotta. I was going a different way with that, but go on.
All right. So I got to see your Boilermakers practicing on Saturday on the way in the stadium.
Which
That was
sport?
pretty cool. So
Volleyball.
they're in the is that called the Brian Cardinal something? What's it
Yeah,
called?
the,
It's
with
called
the
Mackey
little
Stadium.
windows, he got the thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it was cool. It was awesome. They were doing just simple passing drills, and somebody had to finish. It was like triangle, and Ivy literally looks up and he sees like 20 people in each window, and he just goes up and windmills. It was awesome. It was awesome.
has he played? He had a year in front of the crowd, right? Because there are a couple.
No.
There are
He's
Yeah,
never played in
that-
front of Mackey.
so there are a handful of these
This-
really high profile players that have
Wait,
never
wait, wait.
played in front of a Mackey crowd.
Wait. This is his third season.
His
isn't it?
first game in front of Mackey was UIndy. This is
Wait.
second.
Slow down. Isn't this his third season?
No.
This is his second year?
Yes.
Why does it feel like he's been here longer?
Just because we had so many wonderful memories. I don't know. Here.
No, that's a great point that he hasn't played. He's dying to show off. What's going on here? Is that you just shooting a pic?
It's just showing a picture of the practice. By the way,
They look good.
Edie was down. They would switch. They had like
They look
a
sharp.
8-man rotation. So 3-3-2
Uh-huh.
would rest, I think. And Edie, his head kept getting in the way of me in the window.
How does Painter
He's
continue
so big
to
He's
have
so tall.
all of
He's so
just an
strong looking.
unlimited supply of all of these guys? How?
How 7.5 foot tall people.
How? It's
He's
wild.
so good. He's so good.
He
Guys,
looks good. He looks
Oh, man.
exactly the way I want
Oh
him to
man,
look.
he's good. He's so good. He's gonna.
I'm telling you,
knock the year after this
national
year.
title, baby, national title. We're right.
Based on Painter's fatness, by the way. Everyone listening, the reason Nisha's saying that is there's a
I
Boiled
didn't
Sports-
say
He's the best
that.
player.
there's a Boiled Sports theory about fat Painter is always
The best
His
player.
girth.
good
Listen,
news.
it's good. Yeah, listen, it's not a
You couldn't
coincidence.
put that on a T-shirt. That'd be mean.
It would be mean. Now it's J Money's turn to be. Oh, is this the one where this is my favorite picture? Hold on, wait. Let's.
It's an amazing. Oh
I
mercy!
bought This is autographed. You guys can see that, right?
It's autographed. It's got Bryson Scott in the background too.
It's such a great photo, and he autographed it. I love this picture. I
So
love
he
this.
signed that. You think he signed that knowing that it was a half joke?
Of course he did. He's Matt Painter. He's very
Dude,
funny.
he's hilarious.
He
He
knows.
is a funny
He
dude.
knows.
Yes,
He knows.
he's a
And
funny.
it's such a great. I love that. I don't know. Did one of you point this out to me on eBay? I can't remember. Probably.
No,
I think I
you.
bought
So
it.
you sent the picture like as a you. Sorry, is this another one where my
Yeah,
microphone is
that's
good?
the
I'm
second
sorry, I
time.
got excited.
Oh, is what it
I got
sounded
a
like.
little excited.
Like you swallow the
You-
mic and make it really.
You guys, you sent the picture to the group chat like as a joke, and we were like, "You have to buy this
gotta
now.
buy it.
And I did.
You
Buy it.
have to.
Yep.
It's
This is how I
perfect.
buy things. That's why I have a boat. This is what happens. Someone goes, "You should buy this," and I go,
And,
"Right."
and you'll say
You're right.
something like, "Well, is this a tax shelter?" Oh yeah.
I
Matt
did not
Painter
say
photos are
that.
one of the best
It's an NFT. That picture of Matt Painter.
Yeah, it's
a
Don't
framed
screenshot it.
NFT.
It's an
It's
NFT.
a framed NFT.
Yeah.
If you angle it, it's one of those where if you angle it, he moves.
Yeah.
It's an NFT.
Ooh.
It's such a perfect picture. It's so good.
It's great.
Ah,
And he signed
well,
it. That's what makes it. The joke is
we've-
so much better because he autographed it.
we've had a
Autographed
fun-
that painter picture.
We've had a fun 80 minutes together.
We have. I want to thank Martin
Yes.
Vintage. If you enter Boiled at checkout, you get 15% off. MartinVintage.com. I want to thank Gridiron Metalworks, Paul and Derek. They're beautiful. They smell good, and they make cool stuff.
They were on the field.
Enter
Did you
Boiled
see
at
them?
checkout, get 15% off there. What'd you
They
say?
were on the field too. Did you see them?
They were. They were. I didn't see them.
Hmm.
And Adam at AJ's, eataj's.com. Go there, get a burger, have a pint, watch a game, hang out with your friends, be with the human beings. That's AJ's.
Do you go there before every game? I'm just curious.
I don't go over there before every game. And the problem I've got,
Bowler
I'm gonna be
Down
real
does
honest,
not
I'm gonna be real
socialize
frank.
before or
I'm
after
gonna be
any
really
game.
frank. It's a pretty decent walk for my dad.
Hmm.
And
Ah,
that's,
yeah.
that's honestly that's the biggest problem. So
But even then, listen, me and Jay Money, we like to hobnob with the people. Bowler Dad is in and out. He does not mess around. He does not. He goes, that's it.
He's usually in the car on the highway before the game. No, that's not
Yeah.
true. He does stay until the end of the game.
Oh, no,
Yeah, I'm
always at
pretty-
the end. But then the instant the zeros, he's gone.
a couple times this season because people like, hey, are you tailgating? No, I'm not tailgating. Why aren't you tailgating? Because I'm gonna get Jimmy John's before on the way into the stadium. I do that. And then on the way out, I just get to the car, get to River Road, bang, I'm
Munching
out.
on the sandwich
65,
while walking.
Whitestown Noble Romans, celebratory pizza.
See,
It does
this
all
is-
center
he's
around
out.
food.
He's all
Let's
out.
not-
It
let's
does.
not-
It's all around food. I'm very hungry. I work very hard during the game.
We can tell with your voice.
Yeah, yeah. I've already gotten a hard time from my son in a recent another quick cast for yelling too much. Oh, hey guys, there's something I'm very proud of in section 104.
Sure.
Yelling go black, go gold, and drowning out Michigan State fans is literally, I think it as a fan, it might be my
up there.
best. It is up
That's
there.
great.
I mean,
That's
like
great.
seriously.
Because they do
those
that stupid
fans-
green white thing.
Yes.
You
go
guys were
green,
doing
go
the same
white.
shit, but with gold and black?
Yep.
Oh,
Real
that's
simple.
great.
And all I had to do was yell, go gold. Or go black. Go gold. That's what I did. Go black. And everybody was ready because they were like, shut up. They didn't want to hear any
Oh,
Michigan.
you had the section doing it?
I had the whole section doing it. If anyone was in 104, and if you don't know where it's coming from, it's the tiny bald guy in the middle yelling. It was great.
I'm sure they all know who was coming from. Let's not.
It could
He's
get
got a
away
very
with it.
common voice.
Very, yeah. It's a very normal voice, I'm told.
That's the weird thing when we meet people and they're like, I know your voice. Yikes. And nice to meet you. No, their fans. Chris Beeler says their fans were surprisingly obnoxious. Chris, you must be
They were
young.
awful. They were awful.
No, but Chris must be young because Michigan State fans, in my recollection, are among the most. What's the word? Not just bad. There's a
Incorrigible.
ghetto sort of bullshit. Like I don't know what it is about them, but they have this weird entitled. You've never done anything. What are you all cocky about? Like remember in '99, you and I were there when they came in and Drew Brees slapped them around when they had Nick
Oh, it was so
Saban as their
fun. I was in
coach.
that game. Yeah.
Oh, they were like top 10.
Yep.
Gosh,
They
now
were
that I think about
they
it.
were top 5. Purdue was like 14.
They were top 5. That's right. And Purdue laid the wood to them. I think it was like
Yep.
52-10 or some. Oh man. The point is, this isn't the first time that Purdue has kicked up Michigan State's ass.
I don't think Michigan fans are worse than Michigan State fans can.
No,
No.
I don't think
And
Michigan
I've
State
got
fans.
a lot of
Michigan
examples.
fans aren't that bad.
They're not that bad. They're not that bad. There's some rich people in there that are kind of tough, but they're not that bad.
No.
They really aren't. Michigan State fans suck.
Yeah, they're up there with the worst fan
They're
bases.
really
I
bad.
think,
And they created the culture there that created the cesspool that you want to burn down.
Yes.
That's
Michigan
the
State
problem.
athletics should not exist.
Should not exist. Anish. Correct.
Boot them.
Yep.
Got no problem with it.
Was fun hanging out. We have a tidy an hour and 23 on the books right now. I
Listen,
gotta
if
tell
Purdue
you,
beats,
this might be the most fun we've had this year. And
Let's have some more.
if they beat Ohio State, we guarantee
Let's have
we
some
will
more.
double this time.
Oh my gosh! Saturday night smokes.
All of us will be having our own
I'll find a
personal
gar.
bottle.
I'll find a gar. We'll all smoke a gar virtually together.
Oh gosh, yes. Oh my gosh.
So
Are
when
you guys
so when Ohio State
Dominican?
covers.
What do you smoke? What type of cigar is your favorite?
J Money has this warehouse next to him, and it's
I have a
incredible.
place nearby that's really
It's
good.
incredible.
It's where that shot was taken. You know that you. So by the way, I know you must love this. That Victory Cigar and Niche clip that I
Yeah,
now
it's
put
awesome.
up after every win.
That's
It's
awesome.
amazing because he's grinning as he lights it. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
perfect.
torch.
It's so
great.
perfect.
It's great. He's toasting the cigar before you light it. So
He's
it's
kind of like just
the right
yeah,
technique.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
It's a really good place, and of late I'm on to see. I said to a couple people, this is going to be as bad as my bourbon habit, but I'm really aging room cigars are.
The good news about cigars and bourbon is they kind of do this.
They do work together well,
They're
and you know what you
really
can
good
do?
buddies.
You can dip the tip of your cigar in your bourbon.
What kind of glass would you do
I said
that
cigar. I said cigar.
in? But what kind of a glass
Tip
would
of your
you?
cigar.
Oh,
You can
and
dip
listen.
it-
Either way, you
dip-
can dip whatever you want to in your Boiled Sports Rocks glass.
In a boiled sports rocks glass.
You can't see
There-
me from the waist down.
There are some
BoiledSports.com/.
left. In fact, I'm going to
store.
go out and promote this a little more heavily. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a holdback of 4 because I know you and Michael are not responsible enough to not break yours. So I got to keep a couple extras.
I have a broken one shamefully displayed in my basement.
I'm impressed
I don't
that
drink
you're
out of
drinking
this.
yours. You
I
never
don't
do
drink out
because
of
you're
this
afraid of
often.
drinking out of it.
Yes, affirmative. Yes,
These are really nice rocks glasses, and I'm not even joking around. They got the heavy bottom.
it's beautiful.
I've got a heavy bottom. People have told me.
As do all of your
Set
favorite
that
Boiled
up.
Sports hosts.
Man.
By the way, Jay, we sold a pair today,
I saw that. I gotta
Yeah.
get on that.
and the count is not high, right?
No, it's low. It's getting low.
Yeah, it's low. So seriously, if you're watching still, God bless you. But if you want to buy a Boiled Sports Rock glass, there aren't many left.
Yep.
Go quick. They will
Okay,
go
hey,
quick.
bring up Ron Gable's comment.
In the midst of
Okay, so Ron,
you know Ron Gable.
Yes, Ron sits with me. We're good buddies. He saw somebody who's a Boiled Sports fan say this. Look, there's Boiler Down. The guy was doing drunk high fives, and maybe he's in here. I don't know. And he goes, "Wait, you're Boiler Down."
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
great.
what a good time we've had.
What a celebrity. What a celebrity.
Oh,
It doesn't beat the middle-aged women
Listen, don't
wanting
worry about
pictures
it.
with a niche in Louisville. He was
Don't worry
very
about it.
popular. He's
Don't
very
worry about it.
popular in the 40-something women's crowd, which is not surprising. He's a good-looking guy. I mean,
I have my demographics, I suppose.
Oh, guys, Michael Hogg says that was me. I wasn't drunk. Come on, Michael. You really?
capital D drunk.
Well, he
Me
was.
neither.
You
Me
know what,
neither. Let
Michael?
me
You
go
were
get another one.
probably happy, extremely happy.
Everybody's good.
So, anyway, guys, thanks for co-hosting another great show. This is one that's probably going to be archived someplace in a place that needs to be put in
Radio
some
Hall
sort
of
of
Fame?
The
precious
Smithsonian.
metal, some
The
sort of Hall of
Smithsonian.
Fame.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was great. It was great. And thanks to everybody for tuning in live. Thanks for everybody who's listening after the fact. We appreciate you. We are still high and happy. I mean, emotionally high off of the big victory over the unlikable Michigan State Spartans.
Oh, so
Anish is
great.
empty. He's going to go fill up. But for now, I love you guys. Good night.